Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' It's D. About to react to this impressive vid. This is XSCAPE drama. Tamika exposes Latocha's and Rocky's evil deeds. Revenge, corn, extortion, and theft. What? So I said in the video yesterday about Candy that I'm not interested in their drama or whatever the case. I'm not going to watch their show. But somebody said that I should react to impressive vid about this whole situation. Y'all said it's interesting, so I should check it out and see what's going on. Sure. I'll get a summary of what's happening, and I'm going to leave it here. I don't think I'm going to watch their show. But anyway, let's see what she has to say. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the impressive
I don't even know who was who.
The drama
outside
within the
of
R&B
Candy and
group XSCAPE never seems to end, and it's getting uglier and uglier, okay? Two of the group members, who happen to be sisters, Latocha and Tamika Scott, are currently at war with each other. Tamika just recently exposed her sister Latocha for stealing her royalty checks from her. Now, just to give a backstory, for those who don't know, XSCAPE has a reality show on Bravo called Queens of R&B. This is a reality show they've been doing with SWV. And there's been a lot of drama on the show. I mean, SWV and XSCAPE don't get along. And also, XSCAPE is going through their own inner turmoil as well. And XSCAPE has always had issues since the 90s, okay? This is not new for them. Back in the 90s, they did have a very messy breakup because Latocha wanted to go solo, but her solo career didn't really go anywhere. It was actually Candy and Tiny who continued to thrive. Candy and Tiny wrote hits for TLC. Candy wrote some hits for Destiny's Child. Candy also dropped her own solo album later on, and that album made more noise than anything Latocha put out. And also, Tiny and Candy continued to be successful in the reality TV world. Meanwhile, the sisters Latocha and Tamika kind of stayed under the radar. And Tamika was always riding for Latocha, even when Latocha was wrong. Tamika was always siding with her sister. She even turned on her best friend Candy to side with Latocha. I mean, she lied and said Candy was sleeping around with Jermaine Dupri's father and sleeping around with all these different people to get ahead. And she was only saying that because Latocha was in her ear. You know, Latocha always had an issue with Candy. And I do think the main issue between these two has more to do with ego. And I do think Candy has a bit of...
Candy be looking like an evil villain sometimes. Is it just me? Like, she looks like...
ego, but
she's about to put a spell on a princess. Like, that's the vibe I get. Look at her. Am I tripping?
Latocha's ego is obviously bigger than hers, and I do think Latocha is jealous of Candy's current success. I just feel
her
like
smile
Latocha
is just so sinister.
With where she is. She's
but I like
unsatisfied with where she is in her career, and she's probably unsatisfied in her personal life too. I mean, her husband Rocky Bivens was running around with a whole side chick, and that's a whole nother topic for another video. But Latocha is clearly unsatisfied, and she's always relied on Tamika to have her back, right, wrong, or indifferent. But Tamika has quietly suffered a lot of mistreatment from her sister and her sister's husband, and even her mother.
These wigs.
Her mother even sides with Latocha over her, and it's just ridiculous. And she's at a point where she's tired of trying to protect her sister because her sister has done some foul things to her. And her sister has allowed her husband to control her and do a lot of foul things as well. Now, what is the issue between Latocha and Tamika? Well, one of the issues is this. They were supposed to do a joint gospel album together. And Tamika thought it would be a good idea if they actually split the money they made evenly. And it's pretty logical, right? But Latocha had an issue with that. She didn't want to split the money with her sister. So she decided to remove her sister from the equation and do the gospel project by herself.
That ain't very
Tamika was blindsided by that. So that's one of the issues. But one of the big issues is Latocha and her husband Rocky stole money from Tamika. They stole Tamika's royalty checks that she was supposed to get from XSCAPE. And Tamika dropped this bombshell on their reality show, Queens of R&B. She revealed that Latocha took $30,000 from her. Now, Latocha has gone on different platforms, and she has denied these claims.
For the record, I did not steal $30,000 from my sister. So now, I guess I'll just wait on my apology.
You know, even with this $30,000 allegation from my sister, of which I've always wanted clarity since day one. I've called, I've reached out, I've sent voice messages, like to try to get clarity, because you're talking about something that happened 10 years ago that I know nothing of, and I'm finding out in scene. So my thing is was this for a storyline or is this real life? Because in real life, me and my sister, we talk. And you talk about 10 years ago, and I'm calling you, and if somebody accuses you of something, they should be able to talk to you about it. But at the end of the day, you need to talk to me. I don't want to hear from somebody. You're talking to everybody else outside of me. Talk to me.
Now, side note, Latocha is saying that Tamika should talk to her. What people don't know is Latocha actually changed her number on Tamika, and Tamika has not been able to get in contact with her sister.
We don't have the telephone number. Why you say it's about communication, but you change your number? And then my mom tells me, oh, I can't give you her number because she needs her peace. But we still have a business to run. Before we started filming, I tried to sit down with her and talk to her. She didn't want to talk. It's like, what do you do when you call and nobody, she didn't want to mend it. She already had an agenda before she did the show. For her to tell Tiny, oh, I'm going to turn up on them. Like, who is them? Me and Candy, what you turning up on us for? Like, I haven't done anything.
So Tamika has definitely been trying to reach out, but Latocha doesn't want to talk to her. That's really what it is. But back to the subject at hand. Latocha denied stealing $30,000 from Tamika, and her husband Rocky tried to deny it as well, and he was very messy with it. He said some pretty salacious stuff. Listen to this.
You see what the big news is, right?
About you stealing the $30,000?
No, about now the news is Tamika, my sister-in-law, was sending me naked pictures. Todd sucking a tranny's dick, and Tiny in trouble.
Wait, what?
Todd sucking a tranny's dick, and Tiny in trouble. Explain that the way she had explained, but it's no.
Wait, Todd sucked somebody's dick? What did he got to do with this? What? And why would she have video of that? And why would she send it to you?
No money was taken, and the truth is they were paying Tamika Tasha's money. See, but that's a family thing, and I'm not trying to break that wall. But neither one. I mean, the royalty people didn't know. They mixed the sisters up, and they didn't know. You know, but Tamika knew.
The royalty people.
You know, she knew Tasha wrote everything. She knew Tasha, Doug Holiday, all that. So she knew they was giving her Tasha money.
So from listening to
this girl is the problem. I remember this situation too, where they were talking about how she was the only one who wore different colors than them, and she like, I didn't get the memo. I didn't know what I was supposed to wear, and they came out like, girl, you lying. You knew. She's the fucking problem.
Doug Holiday, all that. So she knew they was giving her Tasha money.
So from listening to this, Rocky feels like Latocha is entitled to Tamika's money. This is why it wouldn't be far-fetched to believe that Rocky and Latocha stole Tamika's money. And Tamika did reveal the receipts, and she actually showed that, yes, they actively went behind her back and took her royalty checks. Now, Tiny's mother actually found out that the group can get paid through Sound Exchange, and she had all of the ladies in XSCAPE sign up to get their money. But Rocky and Latocha went behind her back and changed her information and stole the money that she was supposed to get. And it was actually more than $30,000.
I will show you a few pieces of evidence that shows how they went in and they changed my address to their address.
Oh, that's your
how they changed my email. Everything that Miss Diane did was changed by my sister, Latocha Scott. I will give you evidence. Now, the misconception is the $30,000. It wasn't one check. It was multiple checks. It wasn't just one. I was very nice to say only $30,000 was taken from me, stolen from me, rather.
Now, the crazy thing is when Tamika found this out, she still protected her sister and her husband. She was well within her right to press charges against them, but she wouldn't do it because of her loyalty to her family. But her sister and her husband, Rocky, have proven to be snakes, and it's really sad to witness. Rocky went on Unwind with Tasha K and said that Tamika sent him news. Tamika said that was a lie. Also, they were threatening Tamika. They were threatening to release her sex tape if she did not apologize and clear up Latasha's name.
That my tape, I have a sex tape that I did. Yes, when I was in my 20s, I did a sex tape. So I gave it to my sister. So I went back to get it. She said someone stole it out of her safe. So I said, okay, well, who got the safe code? Who got the code to your safe? She said only her and her husband. But somebody stole my tape. Now I'm about to be blackmailed by them. If I don't apologize, they're going to put the tape out. This is what the text says.
Why would you get...
You and your husband got to be the most simplest criminals in the world. How are you going to send me a threat text?
When I tell you this right here is sad, this is sad. This is really, really, really sad.
I would cut
and
her
I'm
off
going to
and
tell
never
you
talk to her
why
again.
I think Latocha and her husband Rocky are doing this. I think they're
I hate this
upset that Tamika has finally grown a backbone and she's standing up to her sister. And she's no longer protecting Latocha. She's no longer lying for her. And this actually hurts Latocha more than anything. Latocha needs Tamika to be in her corner, because if she doesn't have Tamika in her corner, she no longer has anybody to defend her and support her narrative. So right now she's out here by herself looking bad. See, Latocha thought that if she were to go solo and break away from the group and do her own gospel album, the group couldn't stand on their own. People wouldn't take a chance on them, and they wouldn't be able to last without her. But as you can see, XSCAPE is doing just fine as a trio. I mean, Candy, Tiny, and Tamika sound amazing together live, and they're still touring and doing shows together. And there's no drama. They're out here getting the bag. Meanwhile, Latocha and Rocky are left scrambling. Rocky can no longer get involved in XSCAPE's business because his wife is no longer with the group. Well, she chooses not to be with the group. And Latocha is no longer making money with the group. And it's beginning to dawn on her that she's not really needed, because the promoters are just fine booking XSCAPE without her. So I can imagine that she and her husband are disgruntled at all of this. And they hate the fact that Tamika has basically jumped ship and said, forget y'all. So they're trying to extort Tamika and threaten to release her tape so she could fall back in line. But Tamika is not going for it. And I'm glad that she's putting her foot down. I'm glad that she's taking up for herself. It's really unfortunate that her sister is behaving this way. And honestly, I could say the root of this is really their mother. Because if you watch the reality show Queens of R&B, you will see how their mother enables Latocha's behavior. And the mother always sides with Latocha against Tamika. And for years and years, Tamika has been trying to appease her family. But look at how her family treats her. Why would she try to appease them if they're only going to turn on her like this? It's absolutely crazy. But I'm glad all of this is unfolding. Honestly, Latocha, it's not looking good for you, sis. Latocha is out here trying to promote a gospel album, and she's behaving like this. Her and her husband. It's just horrible, horrible publicity. And I will say, I do think Latocha has allowed her husband to get in her ear and kind of mess up her business. Because look at where she is now. And I wonder if she's under some type of control, because Rocky has been accused of being a dangerous man.
Because I don't know if y'all watched R&B Diva. There was a confrontation where on R&B Divas, he got into it with Nikki Gilbert's husband, and I was told, allegedly, I took that for Candy, that he pulled a gun out on her husband. And after that, it was no more R&B Diva. So, I mean, you know, he's known to be a bully. He's known to pull guns out. He pulled a gun out on this guy named Lawrence, this producer. And Lawrence he had to go to the hospital, and he had a stroke. So, you know, my sister's husband, he's a bully. He's a bully. If y'all ain't figured that out by now, he's a bully. So I'm just trying to figure out what the consequences are, Rocky. What are those consequences? And you're not going to threaten me like you threatened them. And you're definitely not going to pull a gun out on me like you did them.
Based off of that, it seems to me like he's the type that would really get violent if he doesn't get his way. So I wonder if Latocha is scared of him, and maybe that's why she's allowing him to control her. Who knows? She might be in a dangerous situation. But either way, she has to take accountability for the part that she's playing in this. She's making herself look terrible, and she's not going to be blessed if she continues going on like this. She needs to make things right with her sister. I mean, she stole money from her. And it's not really about the money at this point. It's really about the principle. Like, why are you stealing money from your sister? And on top of that, why is she in cahoots, allegedly in cahoots with her husband to extort her own sister? I mean, that's crazy. And then on top of that, she's trying to pursue a gospel career? I don't think Latocha really thought this through. She's not going to have the successful solo career she wants until she gets herself right. First of all, she has to get right with God. Second, she has to apologize to her sister, Tamika. Third, she has to apologize to the other members in XSCAPE.
You're right with God,
Fourth,
child.
she might have to protect herself from her husband because I don't know. She might be in danger. Maybe he's controlling her and he's the one creating a rift between her and her group, which I do believe personally. Tamika has definitely dropped more than enough hints to let us know how dangerous he really is. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but if there's something crazy happening, I do hope Latocha is able to get the help she needs. Anyway.
Lord, this is a hot ass mess. What the fuck is this? This soap opera drama. What is going on? And y'all got all this drama after all these years? Like, child, I would just cut off Latocha completely and stop fucking talking to her. That I wouldn't even, like, keep feeding into this. You are not a good person. She seems very evil. Like, she seems like she's the problem in this equation. 1,000%. So I would just cut her off and move on with my life and just chuck that up as a loss. I also have that number 30,000 is really interesting. Someone owes me a lot of money, and I just decided to let it go. I'm letting it go. I don't want anything to do with the particular person who owes me money, and I just let it be. You feel me? And life will handle them. You just got to move on. You know, you can't hold on to that or keep, trying to figure out what's wrong with them and try to keep making amends when you know they're a terrible person. You just gotta take your L, cut your losses, and keep it pushing in life. So that's what I recommend that she does. Family or not, whoever it is, you gotta just let some stuff go. But yeah, this is a hot ass mess. I'm not interested though. Still not watching the show. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.